I know someone outside there might be suffering with alcohol addiction unknowingly. In this video, we are going to show you the signs that you might actually be. Welcome to yet another episode of The Sober Drive. I'm Vincent, and on today's episode, we are going to be explaining and analyzing 6 signs that you might be actually addicted to alcohol use. I would like to greet you guys wherever you are. I hope you're having a good time. Those ones that are going through some hardship, we pray for you guys to improve. And those ones that have had some achievements that are happy, of course, we celebrate with you. On this episode, I'm not alone, like as usual. I'm with my colleague, Elizabeth. She's around. Maybe she can say hello to you before we continue with the episode.
Hello friends, my name is Elizabeth and welcome to this brand new video today. Before we dive into today's conversation, we'd love to thank you people for subscribing to our channel. If you have a friend out there that hasn't subscribed, please tap on their shoulders and tell them we have amazing content here, and this is content that is not looking towards marketing, it's not profit based, so it is for the good of the community. It is for the good of all of us. So please share with your friends and join us in this conversation in our comment section.
Elizabeth, did you know that we have people that are actually suffering alcohol addiction and they didn't know? Someone cannot realize that I'm actually addicted to alcohol. And I would like us to discuss in today's episode how someone can get to know that I'm actually becoming addicted to alcohol use. We want to look at these warning signs that anyone can look at and you self-evaluate yourself that I'm becoming an addict. Always, before someone becomes completely taken into alcohol use disorder, there are some signs. I don't know if someone can understand when we talk about signs, but they are indicators. They are pointers that you can see that someone right now is losing the track, is moving towards becoming an addict completely.
So today, majorly the purpose of this episode is to give you a picture of, it is to give you a picture of how you could actually know, or pointers that you could be actually getting addicted to alcohol. Because usually people who are addicted don't accept that they're addicted because it is their normal.
Sometimes
so it is difficult for them to accept that, I am developing, or I am already there.
Oh, sometimes they just don't. It is not that they are denying. They just don't know completely that they are addicted. So maybe in this video, we are going to enable you understand. Or if you're having a friend, we're going to share with you 6 indicators that you use to see or to judge whether your friend is now becoming addicted to alcohol use. And I think we should dive into the very first one.
Point 1, drinking excessive amounts of alcohol. How does this happen? Usually what we consider as normal drinking is when you have 1 glass or 2, 3, 2, 1, 2. When you have 1 or 2, that one is considered as moderate drinking. But once you start going beyond 2 drinks per day, not per week, 2 drinks per day, or 2 glasses per day, then just know you're going down the drain to becoming an addict. And this is why when they're defining binge drinking, they define it as having more than 3 drinks per day. And what happens is that the body gets used or conditioned that, I have to sip maybe in the morning and then between the day and then before I sleep, because some people believe that when they drink alcohol, they sleep better. So depending on the hours in between these 3 or 4 glasses plus, just know if you're having more than 2 drinks per day, just know you're on the road of being an addict.
Maybe to add something, someone might tell you that I can have my 3 glasses per day, but I'm a moderate drinker. I mean, I don't lose anything. I stay near sober. I just enjoy some kind of the moment. I think for someone to understand that I'm actually taking a lot of alcohol or it is excess, if you're having those undesired side effects, and you see that after drinking, maybe you start to undress. After drinking, you can no longer support yourself to stand. You now, maybe you need your friends to help you stand or walk. If you drink, you can no longer reason. You can no longer own anything. I mean, someone who is near you will either determine whether you are going to continue or not. If you can no longer say no to anything or yes, anyone else is going to decide for you. Just understand that now alcohol is no longer the normal drinking. You're having what we call excessive use of alcohol. If you're a girl, this man is now going to start to be the one to, he's going to become the one in charge of whether you're going to do X or Y. Just understand that now your drinking is becoming excess, and it is a very clear indicator that anytime soon you might become an alcoholic.
Or you already are.
Or you are actually
loss of
an
control
addict
while drinking.
Yeah. How do people lose control while drinking? Someone who has lost control in drinking, you promise a friend like mine, Elizabeth, that you know what it is. Anytime soon, I'll reduce. Don't worry, I'm going to change.
Okay.
I'm sure I'm doing something about it. But at the end of the day, you're having should I call them empty promises?
Yes.
You're just promising, but your promises are just in words. You're actually losing control. Alcohol is now controlling what you should do. It is determining whether you're going to continue or not you to determine that today I won't drink, or this evening I have ABCD to do, so I'm not going to drink. The only time you realize that I'm actually losing control is when you cannot determine the amount of alcohol you're going to take. Other people will see that it is excess, but for you, you would promise always, I'm reducing, I'm doing something about it, but you don't have any possible impact. I don't know if you have something to add on.
No, this will take us to our third point, or third sign that you're actually becoming already an alcoholic. Persistent use of alcohol despite being aware of its consequences and problems. So, we are drinking a lot today, and trust me, we have had this gospel. Medical people have spoken. We have seen people that are struggling. We have seen people that have actually lost jobs and lost businesses and neglected family responsibility. We have seen them. We know what alcohol can do. We know that alcohol can actually put your liver in danger. We know that alcohol can cause hypertension. But despite all this at the back of your mind, you continue drinking non-stop. From the research we are doing, they gave a case scenario of, when you get a divorce because of drinking. This may sound not a serious problem, especially to this young generation, because people have stopped believing in things of, marriage and things like that.
Yeah.
Because of the way internet has painted it. But to adults, divorce has taken people into depression. Divorce, it has its own effects on children. If we started discussing divorce today under alcoholism, I'm sure I would take another episode. But how you can know some of the signs, one of the signs that you're actually addicted is, the problems that come with drinking too much excessively, and you're powerless. Because you could get a divorce, you're going through the pain and you really want to stop, but you have no power. You just find your hand grabbing from the fridge. You call for another carton. These days, people order on Jumia, so it is quite easy. So despite you knowing these challenges, I have friends who are drinking, and yet we are nursing problems at home. Parents have hypertension, things like that. And they know at the back of their mind that, I could transfer this to somebody, myself or even the children, but they're still enjoying the bottle. That could be one sign that you're actually addicted and you cannot do without.
If you see that when you're drinking, even if you encounter any problem, any, be it big, sometimes they be big problems like divorce, the example provided. You see that my wife is leaving, but still you continue with the drinking. Just understand
And
that
she's
I'm now.
leaving because you've been drinking excessively.
Exactly. Just understand that now I'm an addict already. There is no question. You have the problem, you've tested it, you felt it, but you cannot drop the habit. The other point, the other sign that you're actually an addict, it is spending lots of time on alcohol-related activities.
Beer parties.
Partying. Actually, even if it is not that, but if sometimes, like Elise says, you're at work, but you're thinking about the bottle, you're at work.
You can't wait for lunch hour.
You're in the office, but you're having this small bottle. I know they have those bottles they keep here.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're like that and you cannot control the time you spend while drinking, just understand that you're an alcoholic already. Sometimes you tend to neglect your obligations at work. They are financial obligations. Sometimes they are responsibilities at home and other things that do matter, that make sense. But you're concentrating on your drinking. And fun enough, sometimes people think they have something they are doing something about it. Or they are actually trying to balance. It is very hard for people to balance these drugs. So the moment you see that you spend a lot of time drinking, which sometimes protrudes into the daily activities or your responsibilities, there is no question, there is nothing else to discover. You're already becoming addicted, or you're addicted already.
Increased tolerance to alcohol is another sign that can show you that you're either heading to being an addict or already addicted. Like you said, this point actually speaks to what we talked about earlier. Once you start tolerating alcohol a lot, there is an English saying, familiarity breeds contempt, something like that. So this time it is not the contempt as such, but once you're familiar alcohol and accept it, there are things that we do, like outside this discussion, I love snacking a lot. I know it's like another kind of addiction.
Addicted to snacking.
Don't make it that bad.
It is bad.
Okay, so like I know that, when I snack a lot, my tummy will increase in size, and I could get ulcers. I end up encroaching on my budget. I know all these things, but I tolerate the too much crisps I eat on a daily basis.
And you're proud.
Something comes back here to alcohol addiction. Once you start tolerating alcohol use, just know you are finished. And if you do not take action and control how much alcohol or how much you let me use that word. If you do not control how much you alcohol, you could be an addict.
Do not tolerate alcohol. Our very last point, it is experiencing withdrawal syndrome whenever you start or you try to stop drinking. There are some symptoms that you might get as withdrawal effects.
Nausea.
Vomiting, rapid heartbeat, sweating, headache, those things. Sometimes they can be very severe, like depression, difficulty in concentrating, some irritations, anxiety and all that. If you start experiencing such effects when you're trying to stop alcohol, for example, you took alcohol, you've been drinking like the previous month, you were drinking, you've been enjoying different parties, or maybe you've been drinking for the previous 3 days consecutively. But then today you feel like, no, I should not drink. I don't have any reason for me to. And then you start seeing yourself that the body system is now missing alcohol and it is responding in a way of giving you these symptoms. Maybe you're vomiting, you feel uncomfortable, you cannot concentrate at work because you've not tested a unit of it. There is no question. You're already taken and you're addicted. So what you're going to do now, it is trying to find ways of fighting that addiction because it is already there. People who are not addicted, no, they do not experience withdrawal symptoms. Just the very, very last one. Sometimes if you do not know that you're maybe an addict, someone else might be knowing. So talk to someone. You have friends, ask them that, at least, do you think I'm addicted now to alcohol? It is not embarrassing. I think it works.
Like all other addictions, be it okay, I don't want to say my snacking is an addiction, but
it is.
As somebody has told me, you could actually be addicted to snacking. So like all addictions, including people who are addicted to sex, addiction to pornography, most of the time, you do not accept. You don't see it as you're addicted. Why? Because for you it is your normal. If I take 3-4 bottles and then I am all high, yeah, it is vibe. They call it vibe. That is the teenage phase these days. It is vibe. It is energy warming up. We had an episode where common myths about alcohol.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it, please scroll through. It's up there. Common myths about alcohol. People tend to think that when you take alcohol, you warm up. So you could be the kind that actually feels warmed up with alcohol when you have 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. My dear, that warming up is actually bringing for you problems that you're not prepared for 100%.
So if you've registered any of those signs while taking your alcohol, do something about it.
Watch out, seek help.
And if you liked this video, please subscribe to our channel, like and share with your colleagues. For now, we call it this episode. We'll meet the next one.